All right, welcome back. You're watching NXL Day 2 action here in Tampa Bay in the shadow of Raymond James Stadium. I'm Matt Falby, joined by a much more important Matt Davies. Matt, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah. So I'm Matt the Gym Rat on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that other stuff. Just a paintball content creator, and I'm here to commentate the Bear Ridge versus Texas Demolition match.
You're not giving yourself enough credit. You're the celebrity here. All right, BR Factory versus Texas Demo. BR Factory on the left. BR Factory had an awesome first match.
Yeah, these guys took the Division II title last year. They were very consistent, getting seconds and thirds and then winning World Cup. So they have a good pedigree of coming into tournaments and playing very well coming in. But they do lose their back left Dorito player out of that Aztec.
Clean into the snake. They got 4 alive. We see a counter push, though, by Texas Demo into the snake themselves, up to the S2.
Yeah, so this tower guy right here for BR as well as for Texas Demo is doing pretty much the same job. But what you're doing here is you're just playing whack-a-mole with the snake and trying to slow his progression down.
Yep.
So essentially, these snake guys are trying to figure out how to get through the guns, which they do get the snake guy from Texas Demo.
There's your whack-a-mole. Just did it.
Yep. And now this tower guy's just gonna play heads up and not let them fill out into the snake, which is huge because now Bear Ridge can go to work in the snake.
So as the weekend has gone on, I've seen this tower develop into a multi-role. Yes. It also is important for slowing down the bump between D2 and D3. Now that the snake is dead, I wouldn't mind seeing that BR Factory player doing what he's doing, which is switch over to the Dorito side.
Yeah. So this is Ronnie Tenner right here. He is playing excellent, just doing it, and he's going to get the drop on the tower guy right there.
Nice. The Dorito is also walking off for Texas Demo. This is falling apart for them very quickly.
Very quickly. This is an excellent play by Ronnie, just being patient. He gets into the spot. He's just waiting for the calls. His guys are going to follow him up right behind. I think Bear Ridge is going to close this out once they put everything together.
Yeah. When the field goes silent, things get nervous.
Yeah.
It's almost scarier when no one's shooting at you in that kind of end game situation.
You're like, where's the last guy at?
I know he's there waiting for me.
Yeah, that was excellent team ball by everyone on Bear Ridge, just playing heads up. Playing heads up, making sure that nobody's getting out of their zones, playing good team ball right there.
Great ball. They controlled that point from start to finish.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
So, Matt, and you want a chance to introduce yourself. If you don't know, this is Matt the Gym Rat. If you don't know, it's because you probably haven't gone on YouTube ever. YouTube's a thing now. Your editing is fantastic of your videos.
Thank you, dude.
You do such a good job putting together interesting stuff.
Yeah, I spend so much time making videos. It's ridiculous.
Are you doing your own video editing?
Yeah, I do everything myself besides filming. 40 Media's my guy that films for me. We're best friends. Went to college together. So
if you've never done any videography, you do not understand the amount of time and effort it takes to do video editing, and your stuff is flawless.
Yes,
so.
It's a lot of work. It's thousands of hours. But now we have Wrecking Crew versus Jesters, and Wrecking Crew actually got knocked out of World Cup and a chance to win a pro spot by the Jesters. So this is an interesting grudge match coming up right here.
Wrecking Crew has aspirations of taking this whole division this year. It's certainly within their reach.
Yeah,
big run up the middle.
Yeah, Wrecking Crew takes this snake side wedge up here, and he's posted cross field. So what he's looking for is for the progression of the Jesters. What Wrecking Crew really needs to do here is just kind of lay off of that and let them go into that gun. And as you can see over here, I believe that's Colton Dahl in the Dorito Aztec. He's coming off. They do have the back center shooting that way, which I believe is Tommy Hawkins. Colton's getting checked right now. The Jesters are pretty much posted up. They do have the first Dorito wide for the Jesters, so he's really posted up waiting for this guy to go through this lane once he feels no pressure, and then they're just going to bait him in.
Jesters did manage to take out the Wrecking Crew player in the mini temple over on Dorito side. That leaves Dorito side pretty much wide open.
Oh, wow. And so the Jesters are pounding this bounce into the Snake 50. So what happened here was Reyes put the tower in and moved all the way up. And now, in order to keep him from going into the Snake, they're shooting the bounce off their Snake 4 to make sure he doesn't go into the 50 Snake. But this tower guy is doing a really good job of staying alive for the Jesters. He's playing very tight, and he's taking different angles from Reyes, but he's still staying alive.
Wrecking Crew now starting to push the matter over on the Dorito side. They are into D1 finally, shoring up that side.
So this play is huge, and the Dorito player just got through the gap right there. So this play is pretty much blown for them, and as you see, he's going to launch here, and he's still alive. Nope.
Oh, nice shot. Well, good trade there.
That was excellent by the Wrecking Crew player. So this is going to open up everything. Now Reyes can go to work in the Snake. He's going to have to get through this gap quick, though, because there's a lot of bounces coming in here.
Wrecking Crew losing their back line, though.
He does lose Jared behind him.
We're at two players left for Wrecking Crew. D2, no, D2's going to take a walk.
Tommy takes a walk, so it's just Steven right now. And, oh, man, we're going to get close right here. Look at this.
There is a backdoor move by the Jester. It's not going to matter. He's going to get to the buzzer. Even if Reyes had won that gunfight, that was not going to end well.
Yeah. So if you look at Wrecking Crew's playing style, it's applying pressure very early and having a set game plan, as they just had right there. They had the guy go all the way up to the wedge and kind of look cross. But as soon as that game plan fell apart, it was kind of on your player's skill to make things happen just after the chaos. And it didn't work out there. The Jesters did a really good job of just kind of exposing the holes in that game plan and playing really good team ball.
So Wrecking Crew overloaded here on the Snake side on the breakout. They went very light on the Dorito side, and then they lost the Dorito side. Jesters either countered that on purpose or because that was their game plan anyways, and that's what blew that open. The problem is for Wrecking Crew, even though they did a good job here on the Snake, they didn't do enough damage quick enough to overcome the fact that they lost their Dorito side completely.
Yeah, 100%. So now we're getting back into the match with BR Factory and Texas Demo. So Barrage took that first one pretty convincingly with the Snake side push. Now we're going to see what happens next. What are the adjustments for Texas Demo? I would assume that they might switch another gun over here to the Snake side to slow it down and probably have that tower guy play crossed because he definitely got picked on by the Snake side. But we're going to see what their adjustments are here, see if they can pull it out against Barrage.
All right, Demo on your left in the gray jerseys. Doubled up at home, sliding up to that Snake tower. Pretty standard breakout. Unfortunately, they're going to lose their Snake insert player.
But they do get the back center player from Bear Ridge. So, yeah, two bodies are walking off from each side, so now it's a 3-on-3. Bear Ridge does have the wide advantage on the Snake side.
Texas Demo home player needs to start sliding out towards the Snake side. It is just this tower trying to hold it. Both other Demo players looking Dorito side.
So the big thing here from Bear Ridge is this guy in the corner can either get the drop on the tower guy or he can just lay down and crawl into the Snake and literally expose this tower guy from looking heads up because he doesn't know that he's there. But as you see, the Bear Ridge corner player is putting pressure on that tower guy so the guy can get in the Snake, which is huge team play right here.
Texas Demo home player instead
to
move up the middle.
Oh, my gosh. Jumps over the beam and gets him, but he does lose the back guy behind me trying to make some forward progression.
So it's two players left for Texas Demo. At least they're in a pretty good wide spread.
This is West Ward right here in the
huge.
Snake.
That is a huge
kill. And
kill.
He catches him. That was a
huge
great
kill.
move. Now it's a 2-on-2. Nope, Bear Ridge loses another one. 1-on-2 right now. Texas Demo does not know where the last guy is, so he might be able to catch him off guard if he stays proactive in his bunkers. Right here, here's the opportunity.
For Munoz, this has been a great come from behind the game. That catch on the Snake player was enormous.
Okay, so he finally got the drop on him.
Oh, boy. Dorito, mini Dorito in the corner, in the Snake corner. Worst place to be, outnumbered. And it doesn't work out. It never works out.
Yeah, so here's a big thing about the Snake corner here is that the way the Dorito's position, you really can't live. So the big part of the Dorito that pokes out. Oh, and there's a little bit of smack talk going on. I love that. But the big part of the Dorito pokes out, so you cannot hide from one side. No. Whenever they angle it to where the point of the Dorito is facing inward,
diagonally.
Yes, it's much easier to hide from one side because you have that angle to play. But here it's poking out, and you're in the back corner, so the angle can get much tighter as they progress up the field. So it's really hard to live back there. It's more of a transition bunker because you can't see down the wire either. Right. So you're getting there, you're helping your guys get in, and then you're moving up out of there.
You were going to listen to me multiple times this match, like screaming into my microphone, please don't go there, please don't go there, please don't go there. Again and again, your instinct when your team's losing bodies is spread wide, right?
Yeah.
And so I see a lot of players spreading wide into that little baby Dorito in the Snake corner, and it is a absolute death trap.
Yeah. So I was in there yesterday, and
how'd it go?
It went well,
Good.
But we were also winning.
Yeah.
We had presence everywhere else. As soon as you lose that presence from your Dorito side, or they get a really good presence in the center, your bunker all of a sudden becomes very, very tight. The good thing is you can play the tape because the small brick in front of that and then the big brick in front of the small brick in the Snake, both of those are blocking off your tape. So you can play that side a little bit more favorable. The only problem is if they do get in to the 50 snake, then you're playing a really tight bunker. It's a transition bunker, 100%. It's one that you get there and move up.
When I looked at this field, when the layout dropped, what I saw was a tough run from the home directly into the snake. There's a big wide lane. So what I expected to see was some players running towards that baby Dorito, oversliding it intentionally, and then crawling in the shadow of that mini brick. I've only seen a couple teams figure that out.
Yeah. So it's big, but also the back center can really only shoot that lane, so that you almost always know that there's a dedicated gun on that if they are shooting from the back center. Yep.
But that back center has to pick whether to shoot for the snake dive or for that back corner run.
So
because paintball's traveling in an arc, you kind of have to pick the distance you're shooting for.
Yep. So it's a 4-on-4 right now. The Jesters lost their wide snake body, and then New York Wrecking Crew lost their back center body, but they also just lost the tower body for Wrecking Crew. So right now it's a 4-on-3 for the Jesters. The Jesters look at great position on the Dorito side. They are just working over there. You can see both of their guys gun battling. One's on the inside, one's on the outside. They're just trying to put in these back center guys to allow the progression to go up the field.
Jesters working the D2, home, and the snake tower.
Reyes does get out wide, but then he gets caught by the tower player.
Jesters have been playing pretty good counterpunch ball so far.
Excellent counterpunch.
Yeah, ball. They can lose bodies, lose position, and they make you make mistakes. Jester player walking down the sidelines into the D50.
Yep, that's it. I believe there's only one Wrecking Crew player left.
There you go. Jester's going to tie this, bring it up 2-0 actually on Wrecking Crew.
So this is really interesting what Wrecking Crew did here. They had two guys that shoot from the back center on the Dorito way. The only problem is you really can't see anything from that back center, and the Jesters pushed hard on the Doritos. So, like, that game plan there, obviously, like, there was a hole there that they recognized that, hey, like, if they have two guys shooting the back center, that we can even go far on the Dorito side, even though they're looking this way, because they can't stop us. And, like, that's huge to recognize that. And now it's interesting to see what Wrecking Crew is going to do next to adjust to that.
This is what I think of as a game within a game. So, you know, your coach sends you out to do a job. Whether it works or not, he looks at what the other team did to react to it, and then you start thinking, well, are they going to overreact? So now I'm going to mix it up again. So each coach is trying to guess what the other coach's next move is and counter it.
100%. It's a coin flip for everything. Are they going to shoot deep? Are they going to shoot short? Is this guy going to shoot Doritos? Is he going to shoot snake? You know, it's just a guess.
One of the beauties or the flaws of this sport is that we don't play hundreds of games against each other. You know, we play a match, you might have 10 points total played, which means there's still an amount of randomness, of luck, of the coaches guessing, a ball bouncing. It's not a perfect statistical show of which team is actually better, but it's pretty good. It's just not perfect.
Wow, so Bear Ridge goes really aggressive here, going all the way up to the snake wedge.
Might have gotten clipped on his pack. I saw some spray.
And we're seeing a lot of guys from Texas Demo walk off. 3 guys. So this match is pretty much blown. They're in the Dorito 50 already for Bear Ridge.
Very aggressive breakout.
Kill the back center.
Yeah, he's crossed the 50. That's it. He's blowing it out.
Yeah, when you hear the story time call, that's when you know. So when they're saying story time, they're basically saying slow down. Whenever you're a kid and you sit down for story time, it's chill. It's relaxing. You just listen. Story
time is a really interesting code word for me because I've not been to any part of this country that doesn't use the word story time to tell your own team to slow down and calm down. Yep. It's the one universal code word that all teams seem to use.
Yep. And I believe, is there still a Texas Demo guy alive?
Nobody else seems to think.
Oh, okay. So they're just wasting time now.
Yeah, they're just trying to kill the clock.
They're clearing it out, making sure.
The demo coach is probably going over game plans, trying to figure out, and they're not paying attention. There you go. He finally figures it out.
So Ronnie also did that again. So here's the big thing that Bear Ridge has is they have a couple rockets. And those guys are going to be on the field, and those are the guys you have to expect to go far. So Ronnie Tenner is one of them that I know of. And, I mean, just if you see those on the field, those are the guys that are running. So that's a huge thing whenever you're scouting. You got to know when those guys are on the field. You got to know where they're at, and you know that those guys are going to be trying to go far. But that was great shooting off the break by Bear Ridge, and also that was great to capitalize on those kills. That's a huge thing of recognizing who you kill off the break and knowing where you can move off of those kills. And in that split decision, if you hear that and know how to make that, then it allows you to have points like they just had, where you go up the field and destroy everyone. So the Jesters are up 2-0 right now, and this is a huge momentum thing right here in paintball. Whenever someone goes up 2-0, you're not too far ahead, but if you fall back, it's one of those things that the team can easily come back. If they score 1 point here, then they're 1 point away from tying it up. So we're going to see.
I've seen some statistical analysis that shows your chance of winning after going down 1 point and going down for 2 points. At going down 2 points, you dropped about a 5% chance of winning a match.
Yeah. So it's hard because this is where momentum plays into play. Like if they win this point, the momentum's 100% on their side. If they lose this point, the momentum swings, and they just get a kill off the Dorito side here on the Jesters.
5 alive for Wrecking Crew. They've chosen to double up this Snake Tower, which we've seen a few times. It still feels risky, but you can't do it for too long or you're going to get caught.
Yes.
Wrecking Crew 5 alive. They are D1.
So I believe this is Ian Rolfson over here in the Aztec, and he's heads up with the...
Oh, Colton Dahl, I think, takes one off the dome.
Oof. He's heads up with the other Aztec player over here on the Jesters.
So Wrecking Crew does not look aggressive. As I say that, they bumped to D2. But they look like they're willing to play a little bit calmer, slower game. They're up by 2, which is not enough to go into full clock killing mode quite yet.
They're down by 2.
I'm sorry, you're right. They are down by 2.
Now they get another peel from the Jesters, so they have plenty of time here. They still have 11 minutes almost, so they don't have to push anything here. They just have to play good team ball here and slowly peel out these guys. The Jester guy launches on the Dorito side. Major penalty.
It's a major.
Oh, wow. And so Wrecking Crew's going to take this point. That pulls out the last 2 bodies for Jesters.
Do they have enough bodies to fulfill that penalty, or will they be starting down?
Yes. So they lost everybody. Yep. Okay. There's nobody left. The refs are calling the signal.
No. Hold on. If they had just enough bodies to fulfill the penalty, I think the point still goes on.
Yes. Yeah.
So the fact that the ref stopped the clock tells me they're going to start down a body.
That's confusing because they had 2 bodies alive over here, and he threw a major on that guy.
Yeah,
far.
major.
I'm wondering if it was a gross major.
The equivalent of a wipe?
Yeah. Something that he did. We're going to figure it out.
This is in red. This is Jason, our on-field head ref, trying to sort it out.
Jason Friend, the friendly bean-eating Brit that we all know and love.
Yeah. How'd Greenville Growl do so far this weekend?
So Greenville Growl's not playing.
Oh, that's right. I'm
yep.
sorry.
So we're at Underground now.
Yeah, Underground.
Yes, but Underground, we went 1-1 so far. So we've got our next two prelim matches coming up. We're in the D2 division, but we really got exposed yesterday. We figured out we were playing kind of Friday ball, and the team that we played was playing Sunday ball, and they really exposed us. So we really learned a lot on that field. Getting shot by some shots we didn't get shot in practice. Some very, very tight windows of them shooting, but it's a learning process. So that loss, we have to take and we have to learn from it and apply.
To give yourself a break, wherever you play locally in this layout will not necessarily be inch for inch identical to what you come.
No, and the people you play against won't be the same.
Yeah, so there'll be shots that come in that you don't expect because that's not how it played.
And I believe the Texas Demo Snake guy got shot in his foot, but they also lose the back center guy. He is still good to go.
Yep, 4 alive for Demo.
5 on 4. Yep, Bear Ridge is up 5 bodies to Texas Demo's 4, but the Bear Ridge guy I believe just got shot.
Bear Ridge also goes up to the D3.
Huge push on here on the Snakes or on the Doritos side. They do kill Ronnie out of the Doritos. I believe that's Ronnie.
They're going to pull that center, and there may be a flag. Nope, no flag.
So this is huge here. So they get 2 kills, and it's both off the center guys. So it's on this tower guy to dictate the pace, but then they lose the Dorito guy. So I believe Bear Ridge is going to take this one. They do get wide on the Snake as well.
Yep. That Dorito is about to chew them up. I'm not sure the remaining demo players are aware of the danger from the Dorito side.
So this is huge for the Dorito side for Bear Ridge to apply this pressure. There's only 2 guys left, and the Snake guy can only shoot the gaps. So once he stops shooting that gap, he's so far away, you can just run through it. And, I mean, this Snake guy is looking for kills, so the Dorito Aztec player over here literally has the ball right now to go up the field and win. And there he goes. The center tower guy is looking Snake way, so that's the only person that can really stop him. Oh, and Bear Ridge gets a penalty. Uh-oh. This is not good.
Bear Ridge was primed to win this thing. The rug just got pulled out from underneath him. I think we're in a 2-on-1 favor of Demo.
But Bear Ridge has a player in the Dorito wedge and I believe in the Dorito 50. Let's see what happens here. Texas Demo, he has to make something happen, and he gets shot.
He gets blown up. What a back and forth on that one.
Oh, yeah. This is a great counterpunch paintball right now. They make moves, and then they react off of those moves. This is fun paintball to watch.
This has been a good game so far. Bear Ridge just trying to figure it out.
Yep. So I believe they know. They're just chilling out right now.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to go up 3-1. No hurry.
Yep.
There you go. Texas demo coach
Great
flags
play.
out of that one.
And this is what we're talking about right here, this 2-1 being up. They were up by 2, and then they brought that one back. So we're going to see how the momentum plays here.
Yeah, it's still well within reach. Not a big deal. Take a moment to shout out to CommittedPaintball.com. Committed Paintball, one of the sponsors of the show, also bringing you the Twister products that you people buy up instantly.
Yeah.
So much so that former employees like me, I can't even get a Twister because they're all gone instantly.
Yeah, so we're a Twister sponsored team.
Are you really?
Yeah, we're wearing the matte black Revo bottoms. So those are awesome. They look great. It's definitely a nice twist on the old school ProFlex look.
Yeah, that's awesome. So can you get me an R5 Twister?
I cannot. I don't have enough money in my bank account to get you one.
Damn it. I had T2 in the booth with me here multiple times. He's in here. Actually, he'll be here later today. For those of you listening, you're going to see him for the last match. No amount of arm twisting. I can't seem to get bumped up the line. All right, here we go. Jesters on your left, Wrecking Crew on your right. Wrecking Crew down by a point. Not a big deal.
So Wrecking Crew is letting them have the snake here, and they don't go in, which is a huge scouting thing. They're noticing that the Jesters are doing the same breakout, and they're letting them have the snake.
Jesters choose to push up the middle of the field. 5 alive. No, they started down a body. I believe the Jesters are starting with 4.
No, they have 5.
Is there a 5th?
Yep. Yeah. There's the 2 Aztecs, the back center, and then both towers up the middle. So it almost looks like we're almost mirrored up here. There's only slight differences, whereas Wrecking Crew has the wide body on the Doritos.
Neither team is showing me anything that says they're about to try to take the snake. Jester players at least, he's going to do an interesting. He's going to run around the front of his bunker to try to avoid the firing lane. It works.
So the reason he's doing that, the back center is shooting the gap, and the only way the back center can shoot you is over the beam. So when he comes up and over, it allows him to go under that lane. But now their gameplay has to change. This guy can come on the inside and shoot the back center. There's nobody looking at him. Yeah, so I'm wondering what the communication twist is here. So if you look, the Dorito guy from Wrecking Crew is going to shoot inside to stop that progression, but Wrecking Crew is matching them in the snake as well. Now the Jester's way to stop this is from the tower.
Yeah, Bispo's not under any pressure from that tower. He's free to pop over the top of this mini wall and shoot. Yeah. Take on the home.
Oh, this is a really good move by the Jesters here, but he overcommits right here,
it's
he gets a penalty for it.
Bispo's going to take a walk for that, and at the same time,
gets a minor
on Crew.
This is Ian's move right here. Yep. Look, and then the Jesters also lose the other back player.
The good news for Crew is that penalty did not pull out Rolfson, so he's free to do a bunch of damage from the snake.
Yeah. So that's going to be it for Wrecking Crew.
What a turn of events there.
How crazy is it that they both get minors at the same
exact time?
The huge thing is that the snake guy got pulled on the minor over here, and the back center got pulled on the minor over there. So Ian was still able to stay alive and take advantage of the wide angles here. Move up the field. This brick, you can't see anything. He gets here. He gets the drop on the one player, and then they lose the other player, and it's just the tower guy in the center. And when you're that far up the field in a tower that's like that small, it's so hard to stay alive. Yeah,
the up the middle play I've been seeing this weekend gives you a lot of traps you can set for the other team, including on the Druid. But once you get discovered up the middle, it's a tough place to live.
So the traps, and then also you can dictate the speed of the side you're looking at is huge. And so that's a way to identify. And the reason they sent both guys over here is they want to dictate both sides of the field. The only problem is whenever you get pressure and you have to come off of it is that they can take advantage, and then you're just kind of a sitting duck up there.
You're out on an island.
And there's that momentum swing we were talking about. Wrecking Crew takes this point. So now it's tied up. The Jesters were up 2, and then Wrecking Crew came back with 2. So Wrecking Crew has all the momentum right now.
We're still waiting for that point to be awarded, though. So I'm not sure about the resolution to that game yet. The scoreboard still hasn't put up the point that Wrecking Crew, we believe, has scored. I'm not sure if there's just been a scoreboard error or if there's some controversy there. in any case.
Now Bear Ridge is back on. Just echoing what I said earlier, Bear Ridge is up by 2 now. So they have looked fairly flawless in their execution of what they're looking to do. But Texas Demo did put that 1 point up. So we're going to see right here if Texas Demo is able to bring it back, what adjustments they make, and if they can bring this momentum back onto their side of the field. They've got 2 guys shooting for the snake right now for Texas Demo, and they make it out wide. No, he does not make it out wide. He gets shot on the overslide. So they lose the Demo player on the overslide, but they also lose the center player for Bear Ridge. So currently 4-on-4.
Bear Ridge attempting to double up that snake tower. It doesn't work. It's a very risky
play.
play.
Man. And Bear Ridge gets the kill on the guy in the Aztec, and they also kill the center guy, but the back center fills all the way out to the corner. So he currently has the wide bodies, but he's going against 2 guns right now.
I would expect to see in the next 10 or 15 seconds the BR player getting into that snake. He's got a front gun to help him get there. They should be able to suppress that corner.
So the Demo guys are wide, but right now Bear Ridge is pushing up the Doritos side.
There it is.
And they get into the snake. So this is huge right here. That he can just crawl as far as he wants to. He's gonna roast this. He's gonna roast this Dorito player right here. He misses him, but he gets the flinch, so he's able to go forward. Although Texas Demo is moving up in the snake, so this bunker that the Texas Demo player is in right now, he can get the drop on the snake guy if he plays too wide. But this is Blaine right here in the snake for Bear Ridge. He's doing a really good job of just applying pressure in a safe spot. Oh, man, and Demo loses it too.
Yeah, Snake Tower blew up that attack by Demo to try to push down the snake.
This is a really good job by Bear Ridge of staying on jobs and allowing your players to work while controlling the push of the other team.
Well done. So they're going to... And I'm interesting, Blaine was calling story time while at the same time he's pushing up the snake.
Yeah.
So giving a little bit of a contradictory behavior there, but...
And Texas Demo here, it just looks a little sloppy. They died on an overslide. The guys are dying out of their spots in the back center. It's almost one of those things where you're going to have to readjust, look at where they're applying pressure and readjust from that, and put your players in spots where they can live while staying a little bit tighter. The overslide die, like they get wide, but then the guy oversides gets shot. It's something that hurts.
So there's 2 kinds of sloppy deaths. There's just losing gunfights, and the other one is movement sloppy deaths.
Yes.
The movement sloppy deaths are usually because you lack the information about what has happened. Mm-hmm. The other team has moved to spots you don't expect. You take a run, and you run right through a gun.
Yep.
That's a communication failure.
So
all right. Knotted up, 2-2, 7.5 on the clock.
I'm looking for Wrecking Crew to do the same thing they just did. Yep, they're playing pocket.
Doubled up at home. Colton Dahl up to that snake tower.
Oh,
First
wow,
body dropping.
They get the shot on the... Oh, they get 2 players off the Jesters side. So Wrecking Crew has the momentum over here on the left side.
Yeah, the Dorito side is now cleared out for Jesters. We'll see if Wrecking Crew can take advantage.
If Colton can get this call, he can cut off the whole entire Dorito side. So basically, the Jesters are playing on one side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
They get into the snake as well for Wrecking Crew, so this is their point to win. Steven's going to come on the... That's Ian. If he comes on the inside right here, he completely destroys the snake tower guy. He gets him to flinch and he moves. That's a great play. He's getting the red alert call, so he knows that somebody's in the snake.
They're mirrored up.
So this is huge here from the Jester guy. He can blow this all the way open if he gets to the 50 snake. Gets there.
He's about to come out
kills
into
one.
A gun. No, great shooting.
Yeah, that's great. Great by him.
Is that Bispo?
Yes.
Great shooting by Bispo. He was coming out into a trap and he snapshot
Colton Dahl
his way
does
out
an
of it.
insane fill back. And now he knows Ian's here. Oh, wow, and he gets the kill on him. But
clips the hopper, but it's a trade.
Great move by Colton to fill all the way back and catch him over the blind spot in that snake corner. So this is what we're talking about here. That snake corner, it's hard to see anything, but if you stand up, you can shoot the guy in the 50 snake. And that's exactly what he did. He did an insane fill back from the tower. Now it's a 3-on-2. But the Jester players are in really bad positions because Wrecking Crew has both wide bodies here, and the Jesters are stuck up the center. So we're going to see what they do here to slow down. So the tower guy is currently looking at the Doritos, and he's slowing it down.
For Wrecking Crew, I think this game unlocks up that Dorito side. It's a fairly easy move up that Dorito side. You don't get a lot of kills from it until you get to that Dorito 50, but it's not that hard to move up that Dorito side.
So they don't really have to do anything here. Like we said before coming into this, they have the momentum. The Jesters have to get this back. So it's interesting to see what the Jesters decide to do here.
So Wrecking Crew certainly could use the point. There's about 5.5 on the clock. I agree with you. Don't do anything stupid. Don't throw this one away. There you go, starting to move up that Dorito side.
This is a really good move. Oh, I thought it was a good move by the Jesters.
No, they're going to lose
both. It is not.
Crew's just going to squeeze that one out.
Yep, that's it. I think if he had went there in the snake and went all the way to, he could have made the run all the way to the snake 50 and caught Colton and then wrapped and killed everyone. But he went back to the Aztec and lost that. But like I said, Wrecking Crew had all the momentum there. They had the wide bodies, they had the kills, they knew where everyone was, and they were just chilling out. They weren't up by points, but they had the momentum from the last 2 points of winning it, and now they're coming back. This is a grudge match for them. Like we said earlier, like they got knocked out from winning a pro spot last year, at World Cup by these guys from Jesters. So the Jesters are coming in with a little bit less motivation to win this than Wrecking Crew is, and they go up by 2. They're feeling good, and Wrecking Crew just has like this long, frustrating, like hatred sitting inside of them that's just boiling. Yeah.
You're writing the novel. I can feel the storyline being written. This is like a Mexican soap opera out here.
And they get the thumbs up, so they're going to take the lead.
All right.
This is another important tie right here. 4 minutes and 24 seconds left in the clock for the Jesters. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do in the pits and when they come back out here. But Texas Demo is coming back out on their heels. They've been on their heels after this. Bear Ridge has been looking great, just executing their game plans, pushing up on the Dorito sides, and then the Snake is doing that counter punch. It's kind of a 1-2. This is just like a boxing match. You have that left jab, that left punch, trying to get them to blink, throw out their guard, and then you come in with a right hook, you knock them out. And that's just what Bear Ridge has been doing great on.
Yep. So I actually, if I had to pick right now, I'm going to guess Texas Demo wins this next point. And I'll tell you why. When I see teams go up by 3 points, I see them get a little bit more defensive. Defensive doesn't tend to work on these layouts. I see the team that's down by 3 points play loose because they really got nothing to lose at that point, and they actually get more dangerous. So if I were to predict the future, and my prediction is skills are questionable at best, I'll guess Texas Demo wins this one, BR wins the next point, and then BR finishes it.
So this is really interesting by Demo. They have 3 guys on the Dorito side. I have not seen this any time. So their push is coming from the Dorito side.
Yep.
So they risk the body to the Alpha.
I think the Dorito side is easier to push, but you don't get kills from it until you get to the 50.
Yes, 100%. So they're just gonna absorb the Bear Ridge pressure, but
run through does not work. That's a nice kill.
And they lose 2 more players. So this is exactly what you were talking about. Bear Ridge has 2 players alive.
Oh, there's a shoulder hit. Yeah,
to Texas Demo's 4 now. 1 left for Bear Ridge. Demo's making a huge push right here.
They're playing much looser, much more aggressive. Double crossing the 50. They're intent on finishing this out. There you go. Texas Demo. It's almost like somebody predicted it.
You called it.
I'll pat myself on the back.
So we played Demo last year. They are a feisty team. They do not go down easily. They have a couple of guys, like we were talking before on Bear Ridge, that are rockets that are willing to go do the dirty work. And then they just have some good shooters behind them. That's the biggest thing we noticed when we played them, is that their off-the-break shooting was really good. And then they had a couple of guys that were able to go do the work, the dirty work that needs to get done. And that's exactly what we saw there. The off-the-break shooting was really good. And then the guys went up the field and did the dirty work.
All right, Jesters rolling back out of the field. They're down by 1 point, 4.5 in the clock. Still don't think the clock is enough of an issue to force either coach to do anything dumb or rash. I think you essentially play it straight.
But this is huge here. Wrecking Crew coming on with 3 unanswered points. So the Jesters have to get a point up here. If they don't get a point up here, it's pretty much looking very bleak. They've lost four points in a row. But they have plenty of time. So they have plenty of time to put together the game plan, play really good team ball, live off the break. That's what I think I'd be going for the Jesters. Let's go to 5 bunkers that we can live. Let's control our zones, and let's just talk to each other, exploit the zones, and make the moves. Wrecking Crew, on the other hand, has all of the advantages. They could take risk here if they really wanted to catch them off guard, or they could go to the 5 bunkers and just play their ball and slow them down.
Play pocket play. Whoa. I see doubled up at home for Crew.
Oh, wow. So they get the early kill, and they take the snake.
Yeah, Jesters into the snake. They do lose the Dorito 1 player, though. Now they refilled the Dorito. Jesters look much more aggressive over here.
Yeah, this is looking really good from the Jesters. He has all the advantages.
4-on-4, favor of Jesters for positioning.
Let's see. So let's see if Ben looks inside. Ben does look inside. So he's stopping the snake move right here. Ben from the Dorito 1 is stopping the snake move.
Kavanaugh recognizing and calling out the D1.
So K1 right here, he knows what he has to do to get the field. He just has to figure out how to do it. He has multiple different angles on this Dorito 1 guy who's stopping him from moving up the field from this cross-field shot.
Kavanaugh is under a lot of pressure. He's got antsy feet, which tells me he's really, really wants to move forward. I'd like to see him chill a little bit.
But this is huge by the Jesters to recognize this, but also at the same time. So like we were saying earlier, that center guy can dictate the pace. So he's looking at the Doritos now, but you have to catch him in transition here of like what's happening. So both of the center guys from Wrecking Crew are looking at the Doritos. So they know where K1 is. They know that he can't move forward because the Dorito guy has it. They pretty much got it locked up here. The biggest thing that has to happen here is they have to have a guy go up the center and exploit this.
Kavanaugh's going to cross the 50.
Or do this.
Honestly, I've not seen a lot of success so far crossing the 50 in the Snake. Your bunkers are not great.
This is huge right here. This is huge what he's going to do.
It's a tough live.
Oh, they killed Doll out of the center.
That's a huge help for Kavanaugh here.
He can just relax here, understand where the pressure is coming from.
Jesters do lose their D1.
Oh, wow. So the Wrecking Crew makes a big push up the Doritos. We're going to see what happens here.
Kavanaugh blows up that home.
Wrecking Crew makes it happen right here. Jesters.
Yep.
Jesters make it happen right here. Jesters peels off the rest of the guys from the Dorito side. And who's getting a minor? The ref just threw a minor over here.
If that is Wrecking Crew, they might be starting down a body.
Time stops. The refs are looking to assess this. So what happened here was Ben Sloffer was still alive on the Dorito side trying to make a push. And then I saw him run through. He had a bunch of hits on his back, and the ref threw a penalty.
Yep. I believe he was the last player for Crew. If so, they're going to start down a body. So they're going to lose this point, likely start down a body. 2 minutes on the clock. That's a huge opportunity for Jesters.
Oh, man. They're making it interesting now.
Yep.
Tied up, 2 minutes left with a one-body advantage.
That's huge. Okay, I'll put on my I'm feeling my oats here, so I'm going to put on my prognostication hat. I bet New York Wrecking Crew, even if they're starting down a body, they're going to come out in attack mode. I don't think they'll go sit back mode.
So they've done sit back mode and they've won 2 of the 3 points. But
good point.
The Jesters made the adjustment this last one and exploited it. So I think that they're going to make the same adjustment where they're not going to do the same play. I think that they're going to have one risk and 3 guns up.
All right. Demo got 5 minutes 45 seconds on the clock to figure out a way to pull back 2 points on this one.
A ton of time here. We're going to see what Demo does to adjust to that last win, what Bear Ridge does to adjust. I'm assuming, looking out here, is that they're looking to do the same thing on the Snake side that Bear Ridge has been doing. They're going to send a guy to the Aztec and to the tower, just kind of lock it up. And it looks like Ronnie is out there on the Dorito side. So it looks like Bear Ridge is looking to push the Dorito side here.
Take a moment to again thank Committed Paintball. Thank you for sponsoring this webcast. Go check them out.
Demo's going to send 2 guys up to the tower.
BR hard
to the wedge.
BR hard pushing up the middle.
Sorry, that's BR that did that. Yeah. They get 1 kill from Demo. So it's currently 5-on-4 in BR's favor.
Yeah, positional advantage for BR to also. They can go into clock killing mode. I wouldn't be surprised to hear story time here any second.
So this is Aaron Rios up here.
Oh, there's a run through about to occur.
Oh wow, and he's just staying alive.
Easy
the
kill.
Demo player stays alive too.
He doesn't see him. He's going to get 2.
Wow, that's a great play by Demo to bring it back. It's even now, 3-on-3.
Great move.
But here's the thing: is that Bear Ridge has the advantage on the Doritos, I believe.
Yeah, Bear Ridge is in the D2. They're at home and on the mini tempo over here on the
I lie.
side.
Demo is in the Dorito 50s right now. So this is huge. Bear Ridge loses another player.
This is exactly what Demo needed. This is a comeback point.
Demo is on their side of the field. Let's see what Ronnie does here. He's going up the middle.
Does he know? He doesn't know.
That is a great play.
Oh, he does know. That was
wow.
excellent.
And look, he's going to chop up this guy in the center.
He's hit on his hip. Excellent move.
2-on-1.
Wow, that is a gut punch for Demo, who thought they had that point in the bag.
2-on-1 here. That was a great reaction move by Ronnie over there in the Doritos.
That was excellent. That's field awareness and situational awareness.
And this is huge. Look where he's at. He's in that little snake corner that we just said is like
the worst.
So bad to be in
The
whenever
worst.
people have the body advantage and the wide advantage on you.
I just save one ball to shoot yourself in the foot. That's what I would recommend if you're there.
Yeah.
And there he is. He's going to walk off. BR is going to pull up 5-3.
He just got a minor. So the Bear Ridge guy just got a minor.
Oh, my
Blaine
God.
just got a minor.
How did that? If he shot that corner, Dorito, that should be a major.
I'm confused on what the minor is. I heard him say let's go, and then the ref threw a minor.
Was he dead? Was it a trade with that last player, and then he said, let's go? Did I see the ref hold up 2 fingers? We're currently trying to read lips with the ref staff over here on the net. We believe that call was against BR. The real question is, are they going to start down bodies for this next point?
Currently waiting to hear what happens.
All right, on the backside of that, we got Wrecking Crew versus Jesters tied up 3-3. 2 minutes left on the clock.
This is a great story unfolding right here. What are they going to do? Wrecking Crew starting with 4 players. They're currently tied. They had all the momentum, and Jesters pretty much snatched it away with that penalty that just happened.
We got 2 guns heavy at home. You got a huge runner up the middle, and no, he's going to die.
They lose 2. So we're going to see what happens here. If they're going to let them keep playing or what.
5-on-2.
They're slowly losing time to make this happen.
Yeah, the coach has to towel out of this one. If you're the crew coach, you got to towel out of this one. You got 2-on-5. And I know you love your guys and you believe in them, but 2-on-5. Clock is under 2 minutes now, minute 40. I don't love this.
This is good notifications by the Jesters guy. He knows that this is kill 2. They only have 2 bodies left. You can go everywhere pretty much with your gun up.
I don't know what unless the Wrecking Crew coach believes that they're below the point at which they can salvage this and just let it play out. Oh Lord, you know what I'm about to say? Wrecking Crew player chooses that snake corner mini Dorito as his last stand.
Yeah, that concession probably should have happened earlier.
Way too late.
But it happens, and that's just the refs handing each other.
Yeah,
flags.
that's just redistribution of flags.
Yeah.
All right, 2 things that went wrong there. A way too late towel out of that one. You know, once you're 2-on-5, just towel out of that one. I don't agree. And then the minor one is don't go to that mini Dorito in the back corner is your last stand bunker. Please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah. When it's happening there, it's really you just gotta make the coach's decision a little bit easier. Yeah. And the only way you're gonna win that is by making a crazy run and killing everyone.
You have a window of opportunity there to do something stupid and crazy and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that happens there, but now. I mean, the Jesters have the advantage now. They've just won 2 points in a row, and Wrecking Crew is probably in their pits right now like, guys, we have to tighten up. The focus is probably more on, like, what are we doing wrong versus what do we have to do to win, and I hope that mentality shift happens really soon so that they can come back and bring this back. But it looks like the Jesters are slowly stealing away this momentum, and it's just up to Wrecking Crew to make it happen now.
They got to come up with something. All right, here we go. We're going to have BR Factory, Texas Demo. Demo's in a huge hole. They got 3 minutes 42 on the clock. Theoretically possible to bring this back, but that's a tough slog.
Yeah, and BR got that last point, so they risk the snake side. This is what I'm talking about with Demo. They have one guy that's like a missile.
Yep.
And I believe that's Devin Lopez over here. So he's going to be playing this spot. But look at this. BR
just lost 2 bodies.
3 kills out of the snake.
Oh, my God.
Wow, that is huge. That is huge momentum by them. And now they're just going to shut off this side of the field.
Yeah, if I'm the Demo coach, do I towel now? You got to towel.
Yeah, this Dorito guy just has to fly. He has to spread his wings and fly. He's a peacock.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
about to get it. Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
Save his body.
That was disastrous for Demo. That is not what they thought was going to happen.
Bay Ridge is looking very, very clean right now.
Yeah, they just shut the box and screwed the lid down.
Yep.
All right, minute 9 on the clock for this one.
Man.
Jesters 1 point. 109 is plenty of time for Wrecking Crew to tie this up.
This is where you're on the edge of your seats. I mean, this is This is some winner go home territory, depending on the on where you're at in the seating in your bracket. Like Jesters could be coming in with a record that's has them where they need the margin. It's just different things like that are all factoring into this. But I think the biggest one right now is, can Wrecking Crew redeem themselves from last year and get this win and prove to them they're a better team? They're both from the
really
Northeast.
Good.
They're both from the Northeast, so they're both fighting for that name. New York Wrecking Crew versus New Jersey. This is a battle that's gone back far back. So we'll see this. The Jesters are a storied team. They've been around for a very long time. Wrecking Crew is a new up-and-coming team that's been playing for several years now, has proven themselves in many divisions, won semi-pro events last year. So it's time to see if they can prove themselves against a very storied team that's actually local to them.
Jesters are a team that I was playing against in the early 2000s. That's how long that organization's been around. Matter of fact, when I look at their jerseys, I'm not entirely sure they're not using jerseys from 2002.
Yeah.
Like that logo and their style has been the same forever.
Yeah, and the Wrecking Crew pits are hyped right now. There's a lot of communication going on, so it's going to be interesting to see what goes on now.
So Wrecking Crew is currently 3-0 on the weekend, and Jesters are currently 2-1. Jesters certainly need this for a chance to move on. Wrecking Crew can probably afford a loss and still get into the playoffs, but like you said, the rivalry says they don't want to take a loss here.
Oh, no.
So we're 9 seconds away from entering major flag danger zones. So everything under 60 seconds, a major flag will cause the point reversal and a game stoppage instantly. So that's an extra layer of drama just in case you need it.
It looks like they might be going snake up break over here for the Jesters. And they do.
You were right, but he takes the dog. Yeah,
break.
Doesn't work.
So this is the advantage of Wrecking Crew. This is where they have to capitalize right here.
Wrecking Crew walking off from that tower.
Wrecking Crew loses the center guy. So like this, the center guy is not. Oh wow! And the Jesters lose their.
They're up
lose
to the
their wide snake guy, but the center guy isn't essential to this push. It's essential to slowing down the push of the Jesters.
So 3 bodies left for the Jesters.
Steven catches him.
2 bodies.
This is all for him. He's just got to go to the snake 50 and wrap. Right there.
The home is about to get blown up. We're at 35 seconds. I think Crew is going to pull this one.
Yep. They lose the last Jesters guy over there. Oh, wow.
Oh, no. Did he turn and shoot? They're still going to get it.
Yeah.
22 seconds. Please, Colton, do not run at high speed at the buzzer. That's all I ask.
They're going to take it in overtime. We're going to overtime.
Oh, yeah. 9 seconds. There you go. All right, we're going to have a little break, and we're going to go into an overtime match here between Wrecking Crew and Jesters. You want drama? Here, come to the Premier Field. We got the drama for you.
That is it for you. That is 100% if you're looking for good paintball, you don't have to look much further than this.
All right, Matt, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
With a question maybe you don't want to answer or aren't ready to answer. Greenville Growl, last year, Atlantic City, I don't remember the opponent you playing. You had a 15-minute point with no score.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell happened? I was webcasting that game, and I spent the whole – you probably watched the webcast, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't have answers. What is going on here? Can you take me to that game? I know it's ancient history, but what was going on that game? It was the most unique game I've seen in years.
We're playing the Sea Dogs.
Okay, yep, great team.
And they are infamous for slowing things down. And so we are a team that a lot of times we like to play heads up and heavy, and whenever we can't do that against a team that's playing zoned up paintball, we tend to slow down and just try and figure things out. And we figured it out, but they had the zones locked, and we also, when they're looking cross and you're looking heads up, no one can move. So that's essentially what happened.
It was one of the most amazing matches I've watched in years.
Yeah, definitely probably the longest match ever. Because then we almost went to the end of regulation for overtime.
Yeah, the overtime went on forever. All right, Texas Demo playing for pride here. They've 3 minutes left on the clock. They're down by 4 points. They're in the danger of getting mercied out of this match.
So there's plenty of time for Texas Demo to bring this back. There's plenty of time, but the problem is I don't think that they can, on this layout, make it happen how they want to make it happen.
Yeah, 4 points in 3 minutes, that's a lot to ask out of this team, out of any team. So BR content with pocket play, doubled up at home. They're spread into both mini temples and up the middle to that tower.
So the way that they exploit this is they have to shoot the bounce.
Oh.
Yeah, that was really good by Demo. They have to pinch out these guys in the back center, but they let the back center guy fill. That's Wes over there filling into the into the Aztec. The ref's checking him.
Not only allowed him to fill, he overslid and got away with it.
Yep.
That shouldn't have happened.
But the Texas Demo guy's got to take advantage of this. He should have filled out as soon as he saw that guy fill out. Especially knowing if that guy's filling over there, that's the guy that's looking at the snake side, so that lane drops. And he's doing a good job of this right here. This is huge.
Demo looking to get to this 50 brick, maybe wrap and do some damage.
Oh, but Bear Ridge is in position. So this brick right here in the snake is huge for holding.
Just post up, get ready for a guy to come around the brick, blow him up.
Yep. You can live so long here, but he's gonna take the offensive here. He's gonna try and match this guy in the snake 50. This is huge.
Minute 30 left on the clock.
Wow, this is such a good play here. We're gonna see what happens here.
Whatever you do, don't pump the bunker.
Oh man, the back center does not know.
No.
So this is, I believe this is Joey in the back center.
This is the BR snake player. He's gonna get blown up. Blow up the tower. This is great.
Oh man, so I thought it was good, but just the fact that he did not know where the snake guy was is not. Demo takes advantage of this.
Minute 5 on the clock. One last player for BR. Should be an easy kill. There it is. They'll walk it in. We'll bring the game back to 3-6. However, with under a minute, it's still a match.
Bear Ridge did a good job of holding off there. I think if Wes had stayed in this snake brick right here, knowing the body advantage, that he would have been good. Because as soon as this guy gets in the snake 50, he can't do anything.
I think if you're Bear Ridge and you come off this point, I know the players don't feel like it, but as a coach, you got to look at it and say, no, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it killed
2 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, that was great. You lost the point. That's fine.
Yeah,
we were up by 4. We're up by 3 now. Don't care.
Yeah, they lost the wide body advantage. Was able to get it back. It's just a little bit more of understanding the field. If you're playing a really good team and they're down by 1 and you do that, then you're in a bad position. So, but I like it. My initial concept coming into this field, especially with the breaks covering up the tapes, is that you're just going to have to meet like firepower with firepower. You're just going to have to headbutt people at these bunkers. If they're going fast, that means the lanes will probably drop and you're able to go fast.
I like to talk about it as fixing bayonets. And just going ahead and going
Yep.
over the top.
Just meeting each other at the vital points. They say the best defense is a good offense.
I thought they said defense wins championships, which is correct. I don't know. All right. We should be going into the overtime game here. There's a little bit of a delay. The refs are trying to sort something out.
Like we said, here's the grudge match right here.
Julian sending a message to the webcast. He'd like it repeated on air. I feel like I owe Julian a favor. Yeah, it looks like Wrecking Crew's complaining that a flag was not thrown. I don't think you're going to get a flag retroactively thrown. And you might even be right, but I just don't think you're going to get that flag.
Let's run it to the instant replay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No.
I'm just getting word now we don't have instant replay on the semi-pro field.
So this is, by the way, this is an organizational and a sport question. Should replay be consistent across all the field? There's all sorts of problems with it. We as a production crew have had this conversation. Can we implement it? How much delay is it going to cost? Are we going to turn 8-hour days into 12-hour days if every team's calling for replays nonstop?
No replay. Yeah,
there's a lot of problems.
Yeah, leave it for the pros. You have to have a system implemented that you can do it very quickly and very easily. But for semi-pro and below,
the technology exists.
Yes.
By the way, the technology exists. We have it for if we wanted to do replays. It's there, but you need full-time employees to basically sit there and work the replay. You do. You'd have to put a limit on it so that the coaches just can't constantly ask for replays. That would cause problems. So we were thinking like NFL style. Maybe you get so many challenges per weekend or something like that. There should be limits on what is a replay eligible or something. Anyways, there's a lot of problems. I love the idea of it getting it right every time. I really do. But there are problems. And sooner or later, we're going to have to grapple as a sport with whether it's a standardized thing that must be available or that we're just going to say, unless you're playing pro, forget it.
Yep.
We're just not going to do it.
Well, that's how it is in every other sport. If you're not playing pro, you don't get replays.
Yeah,
so.
It's not available. So I don't think we've fully had that conversation, not that I'm aware of inside this sport yet. It's kind of cool that we're in a point in this sport where we're talking about replay as a thing.
Yeah.
Me growing up in the sport, that's laughable. Like, never, ever would I thought that we'd have anything approaching a replay system.
Yeah, and the other thing you have to remember is these paintballs are flying at 205 miles an hour. So
exactly. So here's the thing about replays. The biggest sticking point for me in replays is those bang bang. Both players shoot each other within a split second of each other. What happens when we start expecting the refs to stop the game and replay who actually shot who first? Because somebody always shoots somebody first.
Yeah.
The laws of physics say somebody was shot first, but we accept as a sport that the human eye cannot decipher who shot each other first if it's within about 1 second, right? Yeah. And the refs are just calling. What happens when the coaches starts demanding to find out who shot who first and get it fixed off of that?
That's too
it's
close.
Not viable.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you have to throw out the window, especially being someone who creates content and can put things in slow motion. People say like, "Oh, he shot him late. He should have a penalty." It's too close to tell. There's a window within a reason, and you just have to play that window.
So I'm sure you've probably done some reffing in your time. I did a lot of reffing during my time. I developed what I call time gap theory. So what I mean by that is a player A shoots player B and he starts screaming, "I shot him first." Well, you know what? You might have. But what I need as a ref is I need an appreciable time gap where it's very clear to me that there was a pause and then the other player shot you, or a pause and he turned his barrel. Something. I need a time gap. Otherwise, I got to call you both out because I can't be sure, especially because you, as a ref, you're not on 360 around that player. He might have gotten a hit on his left side. You happen to be standing on his right side. At some point, we have to, as a sport, we already have accepted we're not going to be perfect in these calls. The reffing's real good, but it's not perfect, and it never will be perfect.
Yeah, reffing in any sport is not perfect, and you just have to accept that. These guys are out here to, officiate the game, and you have to put a lot of respect on them. I officiated a lot of different sports, and the one thing you get in every single sport is no one respects the refs, and you have to go in there and respect the refs and their calls.
Refs are always wrong.
Yep.
Major League Baseball, I think, is switching to a strike zone computer.
Yes,
that's monitoring. Is it making fully the call, or is it still up to the umpire to make
I have no clue about it, but I think that the umpire is there just to officiate. But once they dial in that algorithm, and system, I think it'll be flawless.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're still in a little bit of pause. We're waiting for the start of overtime. I believe the coaches are making their pleas. It looks like Steve Doherty of Wrecking Crew is making his plea for a change in the last game. I'll be a little bit surprised if he gets it.
Jason, just give him the point. Just give him the point, Jason.
Matt stepping in. They are trying to figure something out, though. The refs are at least willing to. By the way, this ref staff, I love this ref staff because they aren't a ref staff that just goes, "Yeah, we're not going to admit to mistake. Suck it up. I don't care." They will actually go back and fix something that they screwed up. They did it yesterday. We had Suricatos, I think Dallas Vibe. They threw a major and they pulled the wrong bodies on it. The point finished out. The point was awarded to, I think, Dallas Vibe. Afterwards, there was a complaint. The refs actually listened. We had a break of about 20 minutes. They went back. They did a replay. Unofficially, they did a little bit of replay work. And they said, yeah, we absolutely screwed it up. And they restarted the game. They put players back in the correct bunkers. They pulled the correct players. And they put the time back on the clock, and they restarted the game.
So it's interesting to see what's going to happen here, what's causing this delay. I don't know if they're going to make Demo play the rest of their time before Wrecking Crew plays their overtime match. But regardless, what Steven trying to figure out, these guys are in these pits right now, are getting mentally prepared to go out there and go to war for the next 5 minutes to see who pulls it out. And the interesting thing about all of this is, like we said, the Jesters have to win to move on, but Wrecking Crew is fighting for their ability to redeem themselves from last year. And not only that, so they've got two big things here, but the biggest one is if neither of these guys want to lose, then we're going into one-on-ones.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's great for ratings. Please encourage that to happen. Wrecking Crew, I think they got bigger things on their plate besides just what's going on today. I think most people believe they're primed to move up in a pro spot next year, depending on how this goes. Frankly, they could also buy their way into a pro spot. That's a possibility, but I don't think they're going to. I think they have a very good shot at not needing to do that, at taking first overall.
Yeah, they want to earn it, but I think the biggest thing here is we're looking at their records, right? They're 3-0 coming into here.
Yep.
They don't have to win this one, but this is I want to win this one. Right?
Yeah, there's a bit of pride on this one because it's the Jesters.
Yeah, 100%. They don't have to win this one, so they're out here. They have one reason to win, and that's to redeem themselves. And the Jesters have one reason to win, and that is to move on to the playoffs.
Yep. So you've talked a lot about momentum and this feeling of momentum here.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of unscheduled long break for refs to schedule stuff out, figure stuff out, I think hurts momentum for whatever team
100%,
is
yes.
running it. It takes players out of the zone. They're standing around in their pit going, come on, what's going on? Why am I still sitting here? It really breaks your momentum.
Yeah, so like that's another thing that you notice. Like this last point that the Wrecking Crew run won, it did not feel like they had a ton of momentum winning the point. It didn't see you didn't see this massive swing. It was kind of like dinks here and there, and then they're making the moves that need to happen. But it did not feel like we didn't see anything huge happen very quickly to be like, oh crap. Like the Jesters held their own, and then they just slowly got dinked out. They did score that point within a minute, which is something to say, but it's really just now down to how they're feeling. They've just played 8 points of paintball.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're sitting there feeling fresh. A lot of those guys are probably a little worn out. They're feeling their legs. I know the Jesters guys are a little bit bigger and older than the Wrecking Crew guys. The Wrecking Crew guys have a lot of young players. Mm-hmm. So that might factor in it, too, of like the mentality of where you're at. Are you trying to focus on recovering from the last 8 points, or are you focused on the next point? And that's huge whenever you're looking at it like that. Are you saying, man, my legs are tired, I'm kind of trying to get my heart rate down, I'm trying to get focused so that I can play the next point? Or are you saying, okay, I'm good, what do we have to do, what do I have to do to win?
Yeah. It certainly gives coaches an opportunity to talk to their players, fix little mistakes, tendencies, but it does take the players out of their zone.
100%.
So let me tell you, I started playing paintball in 1992 in Cincinnati. It was within a couple of years I started getting on teams. One of the teams I was on, a team called Eclipse, I had a teammate named Chris. Didn't play too long with him, so I'm not going to say that we're the best friends or anything. Chris had a son named Colton. He was out there playing your Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
That was a factor that I was unaware of until a mutual friend of ours that played with us back in the day went, you know Chris Dahl and Colton, right? I'm like, no. And then he told me, I'm like, holy crap, I played with this dude back in the early 90s.
Yeah. So the people watching back at home, paintball is a very niche sport. So whenever you're, going to all these events and playing paintball, you see the same faces. So that's a big thing about paintball is like when you come to these events, I see people that live in California more than I see my parents.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Boy, this webcast just got real dark.
But that's just saying, like, I go to paintball events 5 times a year. I see my parents whenever there's holidays.
Do you know I saw the most heartwarming thing here in Florida last year at the end of the World Cup? I was on my shuttle in the airport trying to get home. And Marcelo Margot's on the train, on the little tram with me. And he's sitting there. There's I'm going to say 10, 11-year-old kid that says, hey, are you Marcelo Margot? And Marcelo was so gracious with this kid, saying hi and willing to say on autographs and all that stuff. In any case, after we left the tram, I run into the kid and his father in the little, store or whatever. And I said, hey, it was, awesome that you came out here. And I started asking, what field do you play at? What gun do you own? Just trying to because you know what their answer was? The dad was like, he doesn't play paintball. I said, what? Wait, what? They're like, yeah, this is the third NXL we've come to this year. We don't play paintball. So we've reached the point, maybe thanks to webcast, where non-paintball players are tuning in for this stuff, and they're traveling to come to these. They might be here right now. They're traveling to watch this stuff, and they don't even play paintball.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's a crazy step forward. I mean, that might be a singular case, but dear God, if we can get a bunch of those.
Yeah, so Wrecking Crew's taking the field right now. The Jesters have not taken the field right now, but they've got the 10-second clock loaded up. We're going to see what happens here.
There's 25 seconds on the game time. This is regulation. I think they were a little slow to stop the clock at the end of that last point. There's a little bit of confusion on that, so I think they reset it to 25. That might have been what the delay was, trying to figure out what the time should have been. They're still discussing. I still don't think the refs are fully locked in on what the situation is. They're trying to figure it out. Well, 25 seconds. It's unlikely that either team can win this out in 25 seconds. Not impossible, but unlikely. So we're probably still going to end up in overtime on this one. Once again, when you're under 60, that risk of a major. So if you're going to try to win it with 25 seconds on the clock, you're going to have to take some huge risks.
Yes.
Well, huge risks bring huge risk of penalties, and one red flag, and you lose the whole thing.
And the other thing, too, is 25 seconds. If you make a push and you get 2 or 3 guys dinked out, the other team can easily capitalize on it very quickly.
Can counter push.
Yep.
So that, as a coach, that'd be something interesting to figure out. What do you think it takes the other team to counter punch? How much time? And then you're going to tell the team, so we're going to launch. I'm going to have you guys launch at, say, 42 seconds because your typical push takes 22 seconds. And even if it fails, that shouldn't leave enough time. That kind of math on the score.
Yeah,
on the clock.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do here. But I feel like both teams are going to lock it up and go into OT.
I agree. It's very unlikely to win this thing with 25 seconds, but you could lose it in 25 seconds.
So the big thing, too, is like for here you can have one bullet. You can take one shot at it. So you can risk a guy in the snake and say, hey, you're going to round the snake corner and run all the way up to the snake 50 and see if you can catch everyone.
Same thing Dorita's side.
Yeah, and you can honestly have someone follow that up. As long as you have 3 guys that can like lock down the field, stay alive. Somebody in a defense bunker somewhere where you can live. We're going to see here what they do. So they do risk the snake corner. And exactly what I was saying, Ian rounds the corner.
There he is. He's in. Rolfson into that snake brick. He's got backup, too. And now there's a minor on the Jesters. This is possible.
We're going to see what happens here. Does Wrecking Crew take it?
No way.
Oh, wow. And that is exactly
what
we're talking about there, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow. We should have known Wrecking Crew would not be the team to sit down and let another team just take them into overtime, just like that.
Wow.
That was incredible to watch. The 1-2 punch, little celebration on the sidelines. It looks good for Wrecking Crew. They've got 6 seconds left. They're probably going to make them play this just to see if they can pull something out from the Jesters, but at the same time, that is a convincing way to take it.
So New York Wrecking Crew correctly saying we don't want to play the last second.
Yes,
the last 6 seconds.
Obviously.
Yeah, Jester's probably going to say they want to play, but I think that's it.
No, it looks like they're ready to go home.
Yeah, unless both teams agree to it, they're not going to play it. What a hell of a finish. Hey, if you get a moment, check out Paintball for Purpose. They're a company. They're also here with a booth that works with mostly paintball players right now to help focus their personal and professional life, be better at paintball and your life in general. I believe
a great thing.
Tammy Adamson's heading up that project, if I'm not mistaken.
So now we're going to see what Texas Demo does to try and put some points on the board.
Demo's going to lose one of their players.
They send 2 guys up the middle. They lose their wide guy. Put a guy in the snake. Bear Ridge has 2 players walking off, so it's currently a 4-on-3 for Demo.
40 seconds.
Demo gets another player. Let's see what they do here. It's desperation right now. They're just trying to put up points as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Oof. And the Bear Ridge guy takes a couple extra, but Demo puts on 26 seconds left. They're down by 2.
That's a better game than I expected. I'm still 26 seconds. Like, well, wait a second. I'm going to shut up because I just said New York Wrecking Crew couldn't win a 25 second point.
So they're fighting. So the mindset here is we want to win, but if we can't put up the points fast enough, we're getting the margin in.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I still think this match is out of hand. I think it's probably too far for Texas Demo, but they're getting a hell of a lot closer than I would have expected.
So this is what you want out of a team, and sometimes you have to figure out game plans like this, but like you were saying, there's a huge gap here within 26 seconds to put up 2 points.
Yeah.
Therefore, let's see if Texas Demo can do it.
So that said, Texas Demo is going to be, well, it looks like they're going to be 2-2 after this match. So I'm not sure point differential is going to matter all that much. It's possible.
They have an excellent margin right now of a 1.75. So they have a huge margin right now. So if they can keep this, if they can put 1 more point on this board, they will have a much better margin and a chance to catch a wild card spot going in.
And BR's Factory is likely going to go into the playoffs 4-0 unless something crazy happens.
So there's a lot riding on the line in this next point, 100%. So if you don't know, so you have a point margin. It's basically how many matches you play, and then you take the points that you won, the points that you lost. You subtract the points that you lost from the points that you won, and you divide it by the matches. And essentially that gives you a number that says that you won or lost your matches by an average of what. And whenever we're talking about playoffs, they take the top 2 of each bracket, and then they look at wild card spots. And how they determine the wild card spots is off of that point margin. Mm-hmm. So it is huge for Texas Demo to get this point margin, because if they lose this one, they're going to be 3rd in the bracket, which means that they don't move on to the playoffs, but they have a chance to catch the wild card. And with a 1.75 margin, I just looked at it,
pretty
and
healthy.
It seems like most teams that are in the 3rd spot in their bracket are looking at a negative margin, or they're looking at a very low percentage of a margin.
So I'm scanning the scores right now.
And they do have the highest margin right now
of the wild card potentials.
Yes. So this is huge right here for them to keep that point difference up. And if they can do it here, they're sitting in a really healthy spot to move on to Sunday. And once you move on to the playoffs, the whole slate is wiped clean. You learn a ton from the points you played, but at the same time, you're going into every match knowing that you have to win.
And unlike some other leagues, there's no home field advantage, so you don't have to worry about that. Like you said, you get in even as a wild card, it's pretty much a slate wiped clean.
Yep. Unless you're Tampa Bay damaged. I heard a lot of people cheering for them today.
Yeah, they have a little bit of a home field advantage.
20 seconds.
All right. Here we go. Demo on your right, BR Factory on your left. BR Factory can just sit down and lock it up with 26 seconds on the clock. Demo's the one that has to send it. Obviously, you're going to see a wild up the middle push by Demo, and I think Dorito is the next side most likely to send a runner.
And we're going to see what they do here. Like we said, they do have a healthy margin, so they can decide to sit back. But looking at Texas Demo, they are not doing that. They are going to the snake corner.
Up the Dorito side, up the middle.
Let's see. It looked like the snake corner got his loader.
Probably not fast enough, though. This is probably not fast enough to get to that flag.
They have 10 seconds left. Yep, so Bear Ridge is looking like they're going to hold it off. Let's see if they make a last-minute push. Demo loses their snake player, but they do peel out another player, and that is regulation. So Demo sitting in a healthy spot to move on to the playoffs. Bear Ridge going 4-0, but I think the real story of this set is Wrecking Crew getting back to the Jesters, winning with 26 seconds left on the clock. They did not sit back. We said, well, they're probably going to lock it up and go into overtime, and it didn't happen, and that was really, really fun to watch.
That was a hell of a match. Still getting the drama. Hey, thank you, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
It is wonderful. You've had the pleasure of 2 Matts in the booth, or 1.5, depending on how you look at it. It has been wonderful. You have some more matches this weekend for yourself?
Yeah. So I'm about to go get ready for our next match coming up. So we got 2 more. We won yesterday, so we got to win. So if y'all want to see how we do, stick to the Instagram on Matt the Gym Rat and look for the video that's coming out.
Good, really, really good videos. I'm jealous of how good your video editing is. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We're going to take a little break. We are going to come back with some more NXL E1 action here in Tampa Bay. Thank you.